Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Oilers and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it comes your way next.
This is the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and this is the scene at sold-out Everbank Stadium in downtown Jacksonville. Coming up, divisional round Saturday, we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Houston Oilers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The first of four berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, called it the 26. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And the quality of opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round. But he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll send the tight end in motion. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 7th-year quarterback.
And you have to figure that this is a confident quarterback who gets the start here. Coming off of a victory in round 1, team doesn't have to travel. They get another home game here in the divisional round. And I know it sounds cliche, but playing at home, huge for a quarterback, huge for his team. They want to take advantage of it.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 4.
Now a handoff up the middle. Greenfield. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
In motion, the tight end.
Richardson out of the shotgun.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? Well, on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go on the road for the first round for the playoffs. They're on the road again, and sometimes teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
It becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. The big fella. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. A long way to go in this one. I'm sure that's not the only score we'll see today, but to jump out like that, very good.
Yeah, everyone wants to set the pace. In a game like this, you want people chasing you. You don't want to be the team chasing them. That's exactly what they did.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Houston set to take over. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
He's going to handle it on the touch pass.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
From the 32-yard line now, here's second down and 5.
Back to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. He finds his man complete. It's Wheeler. And he is out of bounds, but not before.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could...
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
In motion left goes a tight end. Back to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Second and a couple.
In motion goes the tight end.
Pass complete to Addison.
Of course, he's coming off that monster game in their wild card victory, but that's his first catch here in the divisional round.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Richardson. Over the middle, it's Holmes. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. On the option left, Richardson. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. Now Richardson back to throw it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Well, that's good for a first down. He's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. From the shotgun, Richardson. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Richardson off the play fake. And his throw here is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now Richardson yet again. The toss here completed to Pittman. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Richardson to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Holmes. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now it's Richardson. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Jags add 6 to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll roll him out right. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Wheeler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. As they've got it as we resume action. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Jags are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Richardson looking to throw this. Throw right side, Wilson.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now Richardson.
In trouble, and he's taken down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And taken right on the 30. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now out comes Houston.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a second down and 9.
He'll look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And 3rd and 1 now.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. They're going to look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Now back to throw. This is caught. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Jaguars will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Holmes has got it complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Quick throw into the hands of Pittman.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 5.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
Richardson looking to throw.
And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up second down. No, third down.
Back to the air with Richardson. And he is caught. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They go play action with Richardson.
And it's caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Michael Pittman.
A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Jaguars continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Houston set to take over. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Back to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 41-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Back to throw again. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 14. Got a man and he hits him in stride. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he fends him off. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that'll get the deficit down to 15.
So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So it's on to halftime.
Well, look around the NFL. We'll have to wait for postgame because we are moving right through halftime and on to the 3rd quarter.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Jaguars ready to get going to start quarter number 3. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
Richardson on the bootleg here.
And a completion to Wilson. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Richardson. He'll get this one to Pittman.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll run on first down.
Greenfield. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
12 more yards there and another first down.
Here's Richardson to throw.
This caught. Reception by Holmes. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle they go. Greenfield. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
From the shotgun, Richardson.
Got his man. It's caught. Tars.
Michael Pittman.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Houston's offense taking over again. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down. Now a handoff up the middle. Birch. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. He'll drop to throw.
He has his target. It's Addison.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. He'll look to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Jags are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
The Jaguars offense and Anthony Richardson ready for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to...
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he completes it to Wilson. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Now it's Richardson.
He finds his man complete. It's Holmes. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
Up the middle they go. Greenfield. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in a kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
The Oilers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Underneath route to Morgan. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3.
They'll try the left side. Birch. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They'll try to run this one in, and not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now in Jacksonville.
2nd down and 3.
It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4.
Here's a tap forward by Richardson.
And a loose football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 1st down, Greenfield. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Richardson looking to throw this.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Now when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Now Richardson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Richardson looking to throw.
Caught. It's Wilson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
And Richardson looks to throw once more.
Out to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play. But in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and a yard. He gets it to Addison.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Quan Martin. Down the left sideline.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now out comes Houston.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down. They're going to look to throw. And, oh, my goodness, here's a fifth interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Now for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Houston set to take over. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this fourth quarter.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. In motion, the tight end. They'll look to throw here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barnett. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. He's got it. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Second and 4. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So no gain on the play. And this brings up a third and goal. Now back to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season, unfortunately, for